chosen ones, empaths. When you awaken to narcissistic abuse, right, you'll notice toxic people all around you. It's just part and part how it happens. You'll just notice toxic people all around you. It's like you've been rebirthed again. You've gone through this awakening, and you'll see toxic family dynamics. You'll see toxic friendship circles. You just see toxic people in general. Now, I'm not saying all of these people are narcissists, but they are toxic, and you do awaken to toxic individuals. It's just how it is, you know. It's finally that you've been woken up by God. You've been woken up by the universe. You see through the bullshit now. You see through the facade of this matrix. You see through what it is now. You look back on, in retrospect, to old friendships that you used to have with people, and you realize it was all give, no gain. There was no reciprocity, you know. You realize that people were just in it for themselves, and a lot of these people carry toxic traits. But there's something I want to touch on here, right? As you got to understand that after encountering you, the narcissist this is talking about now, the narcissist that was in your life, after encountering you, they also wake up to the toxicity around them, because they've been with someone of a being of light, a chosen one, an empath, right? A savior empath, that type of nature, right? A healer. They've been with someone of that nature. They also wake up to the toxicity elsewhere, because they can't find anyone to equate to what you used to offer. So they'll often find themselves seeing dysfunctional family units in their own family, right? They'll see it in their own friendship circles, and they'll realize that you're the only one that can heal that. You're the only person that could come along and see what they're seeing too, right? That's something that you both could agree on, right? Because they see it as well, and they can't tolerate it, right? They can't tolerate it the same way that we kind of not put up with it, but we get to the point where we're like, you know what? I see that person's about that toxicity. Stay away from me. These narcissists can't tolerate it. So you've got to understand that after the relationship between you two, they often get into run-ins with their close friends. They get run-ins with their family. They blame their family for making you two tear apart. They blame their friends for making you two fall apart, because their friends were a big influence in why you lot broke up. Their friends were a big influence. Their family members were a big influence in why you two broke up too. You have to take that into account. Ultimately, it was the narcissist, because they were the ones that was orientating it all about you, and was backbiting you and slandering you, and was doing that kind of that stuff, that kind of nature of stuff. So it's them to blame. It's the narcissist to blame. So I'm not giving them a way out here, but I'm just saying that they used to involve friends and family members, and used to gossip about you and backbite you and slander you, smear you. And the family members used to smear you back, used to gossip about you back, used to backbite you back. Then they'll come around you and smile in your face like everything's normal, right? With the narcissist. That's what used to go on. But after you're out of the picture, the narcissist begins to wake up to the fact that their own family is toxic. They'll wake up to the fact that their own friendship circles are toxic. And they'll realize that you was the only one that offered any kind of stability. You was the only one that offered anything of that kind of, stability, right? But this is just how it is. So when you awaken, you'll notice it too. Just like I mentioned, how we awaken, we notice it in friendship circles, in our families. And what can we do about this, right? What can we do about this? The best thing I can say is there's no point calling people out on it. It's wasted energy. The most powerful method is grey rocking, right? So if you have to be involved with certain individuals in your family, or you have to be involved with certain friends, you have to be. We shouldn't have to be, but if they're just there for some reason, they're just always there, you know, them people that are just always there, right? We can utilize the grey rock method so we seem disinterested in anything they have to say. And we can do this quite effectively, which will make them go off and find someone else to focus on, as such, right? But the narcissist won't be able to do this. The narcissist will get into huge confrontations with them. They'll blow up. They'll cut, burn bridges the same way they burn bridges with us. They'll burn bridges with family members, and they'll get right into it, And we can also do that too. If it's really toxic, if it's the severity of the toxicity is very high, right? And you're dealing with a real dysfunctional family unit, then maybe the only option is for you to go. Maybe the only option is for you to go. But I kind of sway against that, because we can also, I know this is going to sound a bit narcissistic here, but I'm saying if we're still living at home, then we can still use that to our advantage, right? If we can tolerate the BS, if we can tolerate it, right? And we're working a job and we might need to save some money to get our deposit or stuff like that, then maybe sticking around for a little while, not just rushing out in the middle of the night, bags packed, homeless, I don't want any of us to end up homeless over this kind of stuff. There's so much homelessness in the world as it is anyway. I don't want any unfortunate incidents to make us be homeless or put in vulnerable situations or in dangerous situations. So sometimes it's better the devil you know. That's what I'm trying to say. Because you could go to this new housing complex and you might have to share with someone or something like that, and they turn out to be a narcissist as well. So I'm trying to say, around the corner there could be another narcissist. So it's better the devil you know if it's coming from family members, and you know how to keep them at bay. You know them well enough to keep them at bay. I know in the height of the awakening that it's very daunting to realize that you were raised by narcissists, and most likely it's not both parents that are narcissists. I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong here, but most likely one of the parents is the empath, and oftentimes they're the parent that's being pushed aside. They're the parent that's being labeled as the bad person. They're the one that's been labeled as the no good parent, the one that couldn't do nothing and stuff like that. And they're oftentimes the one who was the empath in the relationship. But it takes a little while for us to wake up to that. Sometimes we can't even access them, so it's hard for us to even get in contact with them again. But perhaps reaching out to maybe the parent that hasn't been involved in your life, they may be cool. You know what I'm saying? They may be cool. I mean, a lot of what you've been fed when you was younger was just toxicity from your narcissistic parent. But I focus more on parents here. But a lot of friends, trust me, you realise a lot of friendships are just, there's nothing there. There's nothing there at all. There's no real love there. When you're a kid and you think everything's cool and da-da-da-da-da. Nah, man, there's a lot of toxic friendship circles as well. That's why I kind of just keep myself to myself, as I do at the moment. Like, I can tolerate it to a certain extent, but it's a lot of I gave a lot in a lot of relationships. I gave a lot and didn't receive an awful lot back. And it's not like I just give to receive, but it needs to have reciprocity. All relationships need to have reciprocity, and without reciprocity, it's just a failure. In the romantic relationship, in the family dynamic, and in a friendship circle, without reciprocity, it's just failure. And that's what we all need to search for. We all need to find a relationship romantically, in friendship wise. We need to have reciprocity. And if we've got our own families, we need to have reciprocity in those family dynamics as well. If we've got children and stuff, and we're raising children, and teach them the right way, and teach them not what we went through as children. That's basically it. I think that kind of sums it up. But it is daunting when you first wake up to it. But don't worry, God's there for you. God's always near. God's closer than your jugular vein, so don't worry, God's always near, and he doesn't give us anything we can't handle. So trust in his plan, and he'll make a way out for us. So anyway, thank you for watching today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you would like to donate to the channel, you can find a link in the description box, and if you'd like a one-to-one session with myself, you can also find a link in the description box. Currently have a secondary channel. The link for that channel is also in the description box. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.